Good morning, everybody. It might be afternoon or evening for you, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me live on this broadcast. Uh, Today, I want to talk to you about how you can earn more and saying why you're not earning more. So if you're here or you're watching the replay, it's because you're on my email list, and I just continue to try to reach out to you, send you information, share ideas with you as to how you can actually do better in your life and your career, and specifically today talking about earning more. I've been mentoring and coaching people in my entire career for over 30 years, but in the last 10 years, more specifically in the space of personal development and personal growth, specifically focusing on understanding your mind, how it operates, so you can set up a proper mindset. A lot of people talk about mindset, but they don't really explain to you how to change your mind and set your mind the right way, so it accomplishes the things you want, and you're able to succeed the way you want to succeed. And over those 10 years, I found out a lot of things that I thought were true on how to succeed that weren't actually true, or they were inaccurate, or I misunderstood them actually. And so in the last couple of years, when I really made this discovery, there was a bunch of things I was doing wrong. I thought I was doing them right, and I wasn't. I was doing well, but I just knew that I could be doing better. And then about a year ago in April, I came out with my book, Mistaken Identity, because I realized one of the fundamental reasons that you're not succeeding and getting ahead like you're promised you could or can, or think that you can, the reason why is because of what's going on inside for you, how you see yourself, your opinion of yourself, how you feel about yourself, and how you treat yourself. And that is a fundamental issue. And so over the past couple of years, I've just, I'm doing everything I can to get a chance to speak to you, to get you to understand what it takes to succeed. What is it that you're doing wrong? There's nothing wrong with you, but you might be doing some things wrong. And of course, I think a lot of people are jaded, confused. Their trust is low, their defenses are high, skepticism is high, because maybe you've tried different things like me. Maybe you've bought books and gone to seminars and watched webinars, and gone to master classes, and maybe even hired a life coach or a business coach or a strategic coach, or you've got into coaching programs, or you've bought online video courses, thinking that this was the answer to your success. And so I'm going to continue to share what I now know to be the facts and the truth. I was able to finally disseminate all that. The lucky thing for me is I've always been an earnest investigator, pursuing the facts and the truth, something I knew I could stand on solidly, that gave me confidence and belief. And what I realized, one of the reasons I was lacking confidence and lacking belief wasn't so much because of me. It's because I was listening to other people, and I wasn't really fully aware, but internally, intuitively, I knew something was off track, but I was convinced it was me that was off track. Well, I found out that I was led off track, and I'm now on a mission just to clear the air, clear up the all the crap, if you will, and just kind of share the truth as to what it takes to be successful. So you're here today. You don't want to hear me talk about me. You want to hear me talk about you and how you can earn more, and the reasons why you're not. So let's get into that. These are not long lessons. We won't be here for a real long time. You can always come back and watch this replay. If you're watching live, you can scroll down below. There's other lessons that I've run, and we're going to do these for another week. I've got another Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're going to do 3 more, and so you can always come back here and rewatch these, or watch any of them that you've missed. But I am putting together a bit of a puzzle, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, trying to give you clarity, clear up the confusion, so you feel more confident, and you can make some moves. So, and it's a bit of a formula, some ingredients that goes into a recipe. So I encourage you to watch the other ones. But let's talk about today's topic. All right, so I want to talk to you about some fundamentals to earn more. I want to talk to you about some practical, functional things you need to know and to do around money. I want to talk to you about how to increase your value in the marketplace. And then talk a little bit about mindset for money, because you do have to have the right mindset for money. Most people don't. We'll talk about that. And then I'll get into the reasons why you're not earning more. And then I've got 10 tips that you can follow, 10 simple tips. You don't have to do all 10, but I would suggest that you do the 10, write down the 10 as I fire them off, and pick the ones that you think you should do right away. Even if you only grab two and do something, you will see something happen. All right, so let's talk about how to earn more money. So some of these things are practical and functional. Some of the things are more from an attitude perspective, a mindset perspective, a belief perspective. All right, so if you want to earn more money, there's a big promise, out there online, social media coaches, all these so-called gurus and influencers. They make all these promises that you can easily earn more money. You can multiply your income. You can triple your income, 10x your income. All kinds of promises of how you can earn more, but they don't really tell you the truth. Okay, if you want to earn more, the fact remains: if you want to earn more money, what's required is more value, more service, and more skill. Okay, so the key to earning more isn't just, I don't know, set up a website and an online store and go on social media. All right. The key to earning more money is, number one, you got to provide more value. So generally, you can actually earn a hell of a lot more money than what you're earning right now in your current position with your company. Okay. If you own your own business, solopreneur, entrepreneur, if you've got a side hustle going, you're trying to move from your job to a side hustle, make it a career. Number one thing you got to do is provide more value. The more value you provide, the more your product or service is worth. The more service that you provide, the more you earn, and the more you develop your skills. So basically, the law of compensation is really based on two things. Number one, cause and effect. Okay, that is really the true law of compensation. So whatever you're worth and whatever your service is worth and whatever you put out, that way gets returned to you. Okay. The other rule around compensation is that your income is always equal to the need for what you do. Okay. So there's got to be a need. You can have a great idea, but if the customers don't need it or don't want it, it doesn't solve a problem. You're wasting your time. So there has to be a need and a want by customers, and enough customers for you to earn what you want. Number two is your ability to do it. In other words, you have to get really good at what it is that you do. And if you do those couple things, your income is going to go up. So, and we'll talk more practically in that in a minute. Here's something you got to get straight. I remember reading a book with a little book. It was an interview with Jim Rohn and Bob Proctor. The only time the two of them got together with an event, and there was an interview after, and it was in a little book. And I love what the way Rohn said. He said, "You don't ever have to worry about money." He said, "The market will always pay you what you're worth. The market will always pay you what you're worth. So if you want to earn more, you have to up the value of your service. And how do you do that? You provide more value. So find ways to make your service better. Add more service. So give more, add more service, and just get better at what you do. And if you do those things, you will earn more." I just had coffee with somebody earlier today, and they're at the top of their game. They said, in their career and what it is they do, they're at the top of their game. Now, they didn't start out that way, but they got really good at what they do, and they're considered the top in their field. And so they earn more than what most people make in their field, in their company, because they understood how to get ahead and earn more. So remember, the market always pays you what you're worth. The promise that you earn more only comes by offering more. So again, if you want to earn more, you have to offer more. Now, listen, you're in the habit or a rut of earning money the way that you do. Everything we do is habitual. Okay, everything. Primarily, our day runs on autopilot. Our unconscious mind is programmed and directs us, and we just get up. We get up around the same time. We get up in the morning. We kind of have the same morning routine. We have a similar routine at bedtime. We eat similar foods. Like, we're very, very habitual, and so you might be stuck in a rut and in the habit of earning money the way that you do. So a lot of people are in jobs that they don't like, or not enjoying it, or working with people they don't like, or companies they don't like, whatever, but they're in the habit and the rut of earning it the way they do. They don't ever really consider a better way. They wish and hope things were better, but they don't actually ever consider a better way. And there is a better way. And so one of the things you got to do is you have to make the decision you're going to earn more money. You can't just sit around wishing and hoping. If you're going to do that, you may as well just keep buying lottery tickets, and you'll probably get the same result. Highly unlikely that you'll win. So you got to make the decision you're going to. You don't have to know how yet. I'm going to give you some practical advice, but you do have to make a decision. You know what? I'm done staying in this rut. I am going to earn more, and I'm going to do it in a different way. Either I'm going to do it in a different way with my company, or in the same industry that I'm talented in and at, or I'm going to embark on something new. Okay. You do need a definite, intentional purpose and a definite plan. So whatever you're going to pursue, you have to be definite about it. You got to go, I am definitely. I was talking to somebody earlier. My book just came out in Sweden. I was talking with a Swedish publisher, and we were talking about how to sell the book and get the book out there. And they shared with me their goal of how many books they'd like to sell. I said, you got to be really definite. You have to have a definite goal. So how many you want to sell and by when, and you got to be really definite about it. And then you need a definite plan to go about doing it. Now, don't get confused thinking you need some complicated plan. Okay, you don't. You'll never come up with the whole plan on how to earn more, but you are capable of coming up with a beginning plan, enough of a plan to get you to move into action and trigger the law of compensation, which is cause and effect. You just need a few ideas to act on. You'll get a reaction, which will direct you in the right direction to the next action. You'll get another reaction, and so on and so on and so on. And each action or reaction will move you closer to what it is that you want. Now, let's talk about some practical, functional things. There's three numbers if you want to earn more, there's three numbers you must know. Write down literally to the dollar. Okay, you must know how much do you need to earn to live the way you want to live. And just this year, I wouldn't go too far out right now, right? Just how much do you need to earn to live the way you want to live? So there's basically three numbers inside that number. What are your current expenses, obligations? Okay. What are some things you'd like to do you're not able to do? And what would that cost you? And also, you want to start to put money away and save money. And so you need to know what those three numbers, add them up, and that's how much money you should be earning in this next year. Second number you need to know is how much do I want to earn when I no longer want to work? So you might say, hey, this year, to cover my expenses and do things I want to do and save some money and give some money away, I need to earn $10,000 a month. Okay. Then you want to look at, say, all right, when I no longer have any real debt, the house is paid for or whatever, and maybe I'm not going to travel as much, maybe I'm going to travel more. You need to know how much you need to earn when you're not working and not producing income. Okay. Because in order to earn money, you've got to provide value and service. You have to exchange either your time or your knowledge in order to earn more. Well, you might not feel like doing that. You might just want to travel, play golf, or hang out with the grandkids for the rest of your life, whatever it is you want to do. You need to know what that number is. So you might look at 120 a year right now. You go, I'd like to have maybe $200,000 a year will give me the money to do what I want to do when I'm no longer working. And the third figure you need to know is how much do you need to save and accumulate that you can earn interest off that amount that will fund the 200,000. Right. So if you want to earn $200,000 a year without working, you need to accumulate 2 million, say at 10%. That's without touching the capital. And depending on how old you are, you might actually start eating into the capital a bit by bit. But those are the three numbers that you need. And if you don't understand how to do that, find somebody that does. Find a financial advisor or a financial planner or accountant or somebody that knows money and can help you calculate these three things. Because your mind, if you want to earn more, your mind needs to know specifically how much you want to earn. And the other thing you should do, if you're not doing it, I'm telling you, you got to do it. You must do it. You might think you can't do it. You got to start putting away money. Pay yourself first. Okay. You should, every paycheck, every dollar that comes in, you should set aside 20%. Always pay yourself first. 10% for you and 10% to give away, because we do want to circulate money. So those are practical, functional things. Okay. Number three, you've got to establish your value in the marketplace, but more importantly, you got to establish your own self-worth. And that's one of the fundamental reasons people don't earn money, is they've got a poor opinion and a misinterpreted or a mistaken opinion, a mistaken identity around what it is they are in fact worth. So here's some practical things to establish value in the marketplace. Make a list or a resume of your accomplishments. Just do a kind of a timeline starting from today, and go backwards, or start when you were young, and just make a list of the accomplishments and the milestones that you succeeded. Okay. Make a list of your skills, your talents, and your expertise or your experience. And so it's kind of like, looking at your resume. You do need to take inventory, because you do have skills, you do have gifts, you do have talents, and you, of course, have experience, accumulated experience. Also, take a look at others who are doing what you want, who are succeeding, and emulate them. Don't copy them, emulate them, and make a list of the qualities they have and start to borrow those qualities. Okay. So if you want to do what I do, find somebody that is doing what I'm doing and doing it well. I'm doing it really well. Find something like that, and then find out the characteristics and the qualities that they possess that is actually helping them succeed. Okay. Now, you also have to have a mindset for money. You need a healthy fact-based relationship with money. Most people, a lot of people have grown up with a distorted view on money and a poor relationship with money. If you grew up in a poor family, if you really, really struggled, you would have seen your parents struggle. You would have seen them fight and argue. You would have seen them scrimp and try to get ahead, sacrifice. You would have heard them say all kinds of things. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you only need what you have. And you just by me saying this, you are recalling what your parents said to you. You must guard your mind against the negative poor me mindset. So the way your mind works, it is automatic goal seeking. It's directed by your unconscious mind. And if you're not careful, you don't guard what you're listening to and what you're watching, what you're hearing, that negativity, that energy, those thoughts will be picked up by others, by media, by social media, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're watching, whoever you're talking to. Those ideas go into your unconscious mind, and they grow. And so you have to develop a healthy mindset to earning more. And you got to produce that mindset by planting more positive seeds to overtake the weeds in your garden. And then the other thing is, do not be seduced by the promise that material success will make you happy. Okay, it will not make you happy. Now, the good news is you'll look good, you'll travel well, you'll stay in nice hotels, you'll drive a nice car. But it will not make you happy. And one of the fundamental issues we have today is there's all these promises and this seduction to gain material success, and that's the answer for peace, joy, happiness, and freedom. But unfortunately, most people don't really tell you how to actually achieve the success, and then you attempt it because they tell you can do it, and then you fail. And then what you do is you give yourself a hard time, and you turn on yourself, criticize yourself, punish yourself, judge yourself, and then you start thinking that you can't do any better. So do not be seduced by the promise that material success will make you happy. Okay. It isn't about the money, right? Do not pursue a goal to earn more, to get more money, right? Pursue a goal to provide more service and add more value and to help people, and then you'll earn whatever that's worth. Okay. So if you want to earn 10,000 a month, you got to find a way to add value and service and help people solve their problems that's equal to or greater than $10,000 per month. That's the ticket. Okay. Let's talk about the reason why you're not earning more. For sure, I've discovered, over all my years of, study and mentoring other people, and also trying to figure out, success for me, but really getting to the truth and being off track, led astray, making some mistakes. I realized, most people have a mistaken identity. They have a mistaken opinion of themselves, a mistaken self-image. They have low self-esteem, low self-worth. They feel inferior to others, that they're not good enough, or they don't deserve the success. They self-sabotage themselves. So if that's you, we need to talk about that. And so a lot of people just did not grow up, or were brought up feeling very confident. You're either confident or you're not. Okay, there is no in between. Now you are confident in lots of areas of your life, but there's other areas where you're not, and that's just wrong. There's absolutely no reason why you should not be more confident, but that's probably one of the issues. You're stuck in fear. You're afraid to make the moves, to make the changes that you want. But you have to understand, fear is actually caused by indecision. So one of the reasons, if you're stuck and you're not earning more, is you're stuck in fear. And the reason you're stuck in fear is you're not following the earlier piece of advice I gave you. Is you've got to decide, you got to make a committed, intentional decision that you are going to make a difference in what you do. You're going to do things better, add more value, provide more service, up, the offer to your customers. You got to decide you're going to do that. Because if you don't decide definitively, then what you do is you go, well, let me ask some people for their opinion. Let me go get some advice. Let me do some research, go online, read a book, watch a webinar. And so all that indecision, or the attempt to gather more information to hopefully make you confident enough to decide, it actually works against you. It actually creates more doubt. So the more you put off the very thing you want to do, then what you do is you go seeking the opinion of others and information from others, and that only creates more doubt, more doubt, more doubt. And so the indecision and the doubt blend together, and that's where the fear comes from. So just understand that if you're afraid, you're stuck in fear, it's only because you're not deciding to do something, and you're busy out there confusing yourself, and actually holding yourself back, asking for opinions and getting advice. You're misinformed with information, how you succeed. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and access to misinformation is dominant with these things. I mean, we have misinformation being fed at us like crazy. There's all kinds of self-help books and programs and gurus and influencers, all these people yapping away on with information on how to succeed. And then, likely like me and like most people, you've probably been led astray. You've made some mistakes, and because you've made some mistakes, you turn on yourself, you're hard on yourself, and you punish yourself. So let's talk about, how did you get the idea that you're not good enough? Well, most people, 60% of the population, went through what we call ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, where they were mistreated through abuse, through neglect, or they witnessed some very difficult things in their early years, and they grew up, again, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, a lot of self-loathing, shame, negative emotions about themselves, toward themselves. Maybe you've tried things and you failed, and because you failed, you blame yourself. You actually have to fall in love with failure. Failure is a good thing. You only succeed if you fail. Okay, you fail your way to success. Right, so you got to change your mind around failure. And the only reason you're afraid to fail is because you're worried about what people are going to think. All right, so if you're worried about what people are going to think, then you're not going to take action because you're afraid to fail because of what people are going to think, and you won't succeed. All right, you got to get rid of worrying about what people think, take action, and fail your way to success. So fall in love with the idea of failing. You might be pursuing something you're not capable of. Do you ever consider that? Now, there's a promise out there in the self-help world and online that you can be anything you want. You can do anything you want. and you can have anything you want. Well, that's not actually completely true. The truth is, for sure, there's definitely you could do more, be more successful. There's a lot of mental junk you've got inside, a bunch of misinformation and a poor opinion of yourself that is jading what you are capable of doing. But most people don't really actually know what they want. They have a hard time setting goals and answering the question, what do you really want? And the reason is because they don't really know themselves. All right. I think it's a terrible idea to set goals and pursue goals if you don't really know who you are. And if you don't really like who you are, because you're going to pick the wrong goal, you're going to go off in the wrong direction. And then, you're probably going to fail, and fail to a point where you quit or give up. And it's probably because you're pursuing the wrong things. So let me give you a cure for all this. So get your pen out. I'm gonna rifle out 10 things. And we're gonna wrap up. Okay. So here are 10 tips to free yourself to earn more. Number one, decide. Decide. Write this down. Decide I'm going to earn more, and underline going to. Decide I'm going to earn more. It's got to be a committed. So you're going to do it. You don't know how to do it. Don't worry about that right now. Okay. You don't have to know the how. You got to first off decide you're going to do it. Number two, take inventory of your gifts, skills, talent, and experience, like I said earlier. All right. And the question is, would you hire you? If you want to earn $10,000 a month and you looked at your skills, talents, gifts, experience, would you hire you? Now, chances are your gifts, talents, experience are actually worth more than what you're being paid. But you don't believe in yourself, or you don't think you're worth more. And so if you take an objective, practical viewpoint at these skills, you will probably see that, yeah, I would hire you. You just have a distorted view of your own skill set and your value. Number three, stop filling yourself up with information in hopes it'll make you feel more confident. It actually confuses you and erodes your confidence. Because every time you're searching information, think about this. Every time you're searching for information, what you're basically saying is, I don't believe in myself. And so you just keep feeding that idea that you don't believe in yourself, or you're not good enough, or you won't be able to succeed. So stop filling yourself up with information in hopes it'll make you feel more confident, because it won't. Stop listening and watching videos on social media. Okay. Especially trying to get ahead and to earn more. It's a mess out there. It's a shit show. I mean, it's like walking into a stadium of 80,000 people, and you walk down the middle of on the floor, and there's 80,000 people all yelling at you online with their answer on how you can earn more. So I would stop watching all that crap. It is just a bunch of crap. Number five, start thinking accurately and stop listening to the opinion of others. We'll talk about what thinking accurately actually means. Number six, stop paying, or start paying yourself and start giving some away. So 10% of every dollar comes in, put it aside into a separate bank account, and another 10% put it aside in order to give away. Okay. Now you might go, if you're bringing in 2,000 a week, you might go, I can't put 200, I need the whole 200. I'm telling you, if you start paying yourself, you're going to up your self-worth. If you start giving money away, you're going to up your confidence that you can earn it. It's a magical thing. They call it tithing, giving money away. It's a magical thing that happens when you pay yourself and when you give money away. Now, that is a lesser risk to take than doing it the way that you're doing. You might think, I can't risk giving away $200 every week. Well, that's a much lower risk, and the return that comes from that is way greater than you thinking that you can't. Okay. Number seven, get to know yourself, like yourself, and start being yourself. Number eight, stop trying to be somebody that you're not. Right. Now, if you take care of number seven, you won't make that mistake. Right. Most people have this backwards. They're trying to be somebody they're not. They're faking it, pretending. They suffer from imposter syndrome. They don't really know who they are. So how the hell would you know what you want? And then number nine, find someone who is succeeding in your field and ask them. Ask them what you should do. Ask them what works. And number 10, very important, stop looking at the past. And the past literally is a minute ago, a second ago, or half an hour ago when we started this message. Okay, stop looking at the past and stop worrying about the future, trying to control how things are going to go. You can't, so don't waste your energy. It only causes frustration. Your job is just keep your eye on where you want to go, and think of ways where you can add more value and service and improve your skill set so you're worth more in the marketplace and you can add more value and therefore you can earn more. So you can't look at the past. Do not reference the past. It offers no information to help you earn more. I guarantee you. And if you're worrying about how this is going to happen, you're worrying too far in the future, you're only going to stall. So I think most people aren't earning what they could be. And what you got to do, you got to do three things. You got to get rid of your mistaken identity. You got to get rid of this poor opinion of yourself or this distorted image that you have of yourself. You got to get to the truth of who you are. You need to know who you are, like who you are, and then be who you are. Be yourself. Be your authentic self. Now, everybody goes, how do you do that? Well, it's really simple. If you get rid of the false self, you'll meet your true self. And that's what this mistaken identity, that's what I do with people now. I'm really focused on the 60% of people that have gone through adverse experiences that have a distorted view of themselves and a poor opinion of themselves. But there's another 35% of the population out there that have this, they're off track. You're off track with how you see yourself and how you feel about yourself and what you believe about yourself to be true. So you got to get rid of that. And it's easy to do. It's quick. And when you get rid of it, you can see clearly and you can act more confidently. You got to be yourself. That's way easier. It's hard to be yourself because there's a strong compulsion for conformity, to fit in, to be liked. And we also worry about what other people think. And so we want to make some moves. We want to take some actions. We want to make some changes, but we're afraid, what if we don't fit in? What if we upset somebody? What are people going to think? And that gets you stuck. And lastly, you got to learn how to control and direct your mind. Your mind is a machine. It operates under certain rules. It directs your brain and nervous system and your behaviors and your actions and ultimately the results that you're getting or not getting. And lastly, I want to leave you this. You probably can't do this by yourself. Okay. Self-help and self-coaching do not work. You got to ask yourself, why does the self-help industry not produce more success? That's another conversation. But you just keep hopping from book to course to YouTube video trying to find the answer, and that's not the way to go about it. The first thing you got to do is you got to get rid of this mistaken identity and get to know yourself and like yourself. Then you can be yourself, and then you don't need a lot of self-help. You're probably still going to need some mentoring and coaching in the area that you want to succeed if you don't have the skill set yet. If you're not good enough at what it is you want to do to earn what you want, you're probably going to need some help with people to do that. So listen, I'm just going to keep coming here, emailing you, inviting you to these lessons, trying to get you to see what's really going on, what it really takes, what really works to succeed. In this case, we're talking about earning more. And if anything I'm saying today or on Wednesday or this past Monday or next week, if any of this resonates with you, we got to have a conversation. There's a button below, meet with me, book a call, and we'll have a chat. And it's not going to turn into a sales call, right? We will have a chat, and fairly quickly, I will find out what's getting in your way, and I will direct you in a path that makes sense for you, that's good for you, so you can actually start earning more. It actually is probably way simpler than you're making. Now, if you want to work with me, there's three ways you can work with me. Number one, get my book. Okay. If you haven't got my book, get the book, read the book. But you can also go through a course with me with the book, because the book is a course. And so you can work with me that way. I also do what's called a jumpstart coaching sessions. And that's a 3-part coaching call session over 3 weeks. And we really clear the air fast and get you moving, and the reactions you get from those actions really cause a significant jump. But what we're really inviting people to is Monday, June 7th, a week Monday, I am starting our next 45 days to an upgraded life, where we take you through how to get rid of this mistaken identity very, very quickly. I'm with you every day, live, 5 days a week, in a Zoom room. We're in a meeting together. It's not just me talking on the screen. We're working together in a small group every day, 5 days a week for 6 weeks in a row. And just imagine what I would be able to do if I had you for the next 45 days. If I'm able to change your mind here, inspire you, motivate you, bring clarity to you in just 30 minutes here, imagine what would happen if we got to hang out and got to know each other over 45 days. So book a call, let's have a chat. I encourage you to do that. If you're not comfortable doing that, if you're not ready for that, that's fine. Reach out, send us a message. We can chat that way. And I look forward to seeing you again. We will be running a class on Monday at 11, next Wednesday at 11, another one next Friday at 11. So join us then, keep an eye on your inbox, go back to the replays and reach out or book that call. I'd love to have a chat with you and get to know you. Take care.